What do you think of that today?
Disgusting. You know, we come here, I didn't expect it to be a lot. I was in a bar before and I was speaking to a Geordie, he was like, please go easy on us. I said, you go easy on us. And he said, listen, we can't score. We only score our own goals, he said. I said, listen, at least you score. You know, we had one shot on target, Scott McTominay in the first half, straight into the keeper's hands. What can you say? It's just the same kind of football I've watched under previous managers when it's winding up, you know. And to be honest, I want Ollie here. He's United. He knows what this badge means to us, to the club, you know, to the fans. But I think it's the people above him maybe don't understand. I think they're really sucking the life out of this club. Whether they know that they're doing it and they don't care, or whether they don't know. You know, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked of them. I think fans need to rally now. I mean, I know a lot of you are actually out and we're Glazers out, but I think the way that you organise yourself, I think, better than we do with it.
Do you reckon? We've had 2 relegations in 13 years. You haven't been relegated in your lifetime, so...
Well, around sort of the protest towards him, say, I think a lot of people know about it. Your media were reporting on it, whereas our media were reporting on Ollie out. Whether that's just because it's United and there's worldwide fans that are going to be screaming that, fans that probably aren't here today. You know, we were singing for Glazers out, not Ollie out. We were singing Ollie's name, whereas you'll go on Twitter and you'll see everyone saying, how can you back Ollie? I think we've had world-class managers. We've had Louis van Gaal, who got to a 3rd place in a World Cup. We've had Jose Mourinho, 2 Champions League winners, and now we've got Ollie, who's a United legend. So I don't know where you'd go from this. I don't see any manager turning it around here until they change what they're doing up top. It's disgusting, and you know. But I had that feeling it wasn't going to be good, because we went to Holland, AZ Alkmaar, and it was exactly the same. So
yeah, he didn't get a shot on target.
Exactly. So it's at least we got a point now. But
yeah, I mean, my 2 best mates are Man United supporters, and we've been arguing all week, not on who's the better team, on who's the worst team. So it's like, who's in the worst predicament right now? Yous are as bad as I've ever seen you. I mean, the team that you've put out are shit, to be honest, really bad. But on the stroke of half time, Maguire gets his golden opportunity. He scored a harder header last year against Newcastle at St James Park for Leicester. He's got to be taking chances like that, especially for the money he's paid for him.
100%, they've got to take him more. £80 million defender. I think he's a good defender, but I just think he's shot to pieces, and I think a lot of them are. I think people are saying Rashford this, Rashford that. Yeah, he didn't play very well. Yeah, he was sort of around and just not doing much, not offering anything. But I think a lot of these boys are shot to pieces, and I just think, you know, for me, standouts for Man United were Scott McTominay and Daniel James. They were fighting till the end. But I mean, Maguire, if you can see it in goals, if you go into places, if you know that you're going to lose, if there's nothing in front of you, you know, we're relying on him to score a header. He's a defender. You know, I mean, obviously it was a point-blank header. He should have scored it. You can't excuse that, but he's not a bad defender overnight.
No, he's not. But the only time I thought Man United had any threat was on a set piece when Maguire was in the box because of that chance. Other than that, I don't think Man United offered very much. When Daniel James was obviously trying to cut inside and everything like that, but I thought until you swapped him to the other side, DeAndre Yedlin with his pace had him quite in his pocket, to be fair, and he was one of your better players, so that speaks volumes for the rest of the side. Scott McTominay, he's a brilliant player, but I feel like he's not ready for a leading role. He needs like your Pogba's and that to get the arm around the shoulder and like, right. But
people like Daniel James and Scott, you can say, people say they're not good enough, and maybe they're not good enough yet. They're developed to be good enough, but at least they've got that fight and passion that they want to play, and they want to, you know, Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well wants to play. Maguire wants to play. I just think he's now seen as a leader, Maguire, and maybe Scott is seen as a leader, and it's too soon to be throwing these boys in like that.
It's not going to happen overnight, but we'll go on to the Newcastle goal. It falls to Matty Longstaff, and Matty Longstaff just drills it home 1-0. But the response from Man United, I was expecting you to get more forward, and you did, but you didn't really offer anything. The game just fizzles out into a 1-0 defeat for you.
I think we were about to score before you scored. I think the whole away end was behind it. I think there was sliding tackles coming in from your defenders. I mean, yeah, you defended well, but I think we were getting on top of you. You were sitting deep, and I think that was when it was about to come. And I think with United now, the United of this era is when they do concede, that's it. You've won the game. There's no.
I get that feeling as well. From top to bottom, Man United's the messiest it's ever been. I think it's going to take a long process. However, I disagree with you in saying Ollie's the man. I just don't think he's tactically aware enough to carry us out of situations. Do you know what you need, honestly? You need a Rafa Benitez type manager. You just really do. I know he's ex-Liverpool and things like that, but he'd sort his right out. He'd get his defending, he'd get the right balance, and with time he'd get his up the table again.
Maybe that Thomas Tuchel, they're saying, who's
Dortmund,
who's
Massimiliano Allegri, who was at Juventus.
Those kind of people, but I've seen people like that come in. I've seen Jose come in, quality manager. I would never have sacked him at the time. At least he could defend. At least he had the drills.
You got sick for parking the bus.
Yeah, but I'd rather park the bus. If that's what we're coming and we've got no strikers, I'd rather park the bus and get out of there with 0-0 than just have a ball over the top. Because it was simple for you guys. It was just balls over the top, and you got your ASM to run at us, and we didn't know how to deal with it.
To quickly wrap up, Newcastle are now 1 point behind Man United in the table. Man United are 2 points off the bottom three, which is a weird thing to say. But to wrap up, who's getting sacked first? Steve Bruce, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Both United legends. I don't want either of them sacked.
Yeah, you can have Bruce if you want. I know we've just won 1-0 in that. But
listen, I think get behind him. I know you don't like him and this, that and the other.
I'm not fussed if you sack him or not. I'm just saying I think you need a more
I think that the time... I don't want Ollie to go, because for me, I feel so close to Ollie. He knows what he's doing. I don't want him to go.
We had it with Shearer when he was a manager. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get behind him and things like that, but you question whether he was good enough, and in the end we got relegated. I know in 2008 we were going to get relegated regardless, but it was the right decision to get rid of him in the end. I think Shearer, and then replace him with Chris Hughton. But to wrap up, Newcastle 1, Man United 0. This has been Newcastle Fans TV, and I've been joined by Natalie, full-time Red Devils. And catch us on the next videos. Make sure you subscribe to these lot as well. Great channel, and catch us in a bit.